Everybody out here is caught up into the trial of Diddy. What's up, everybody? We about to get into this. This trial of Diddy, man, has been something crazy. We've seen things that prosecutions have been on the loose trying to locate people that were supposedly missing. You've seen a lot of things that shouldn't have transpired ever in a courtroom take place. And it's unfair to Diddy, who never really got a fair trial at all about anything. It's been all kind of, torturous interference that you've seen, and it's very unfair for a black man to go through such things. When they let the Abercrombie and Fitch guy, who's facing way more litany of charges, he's about to plead an insanity, mentally incapable. And this is where we have a disconnect. And the disconnect is always implanted with the intent. The disconnect is always on the intent that they come in with something crazy to try to sideline or sabotage. Now, that's why the release of the CNN video of the Cassie tape, that thing is backfiring on them. Because now they don't know which way to go. They pretty much stuck in a conundrum. Yeah. But see, now the jig is up. Because not only do did they make a huge mistake and go ahead and pursue something that didn't make any sense, they decided to go ahead and say, oh, okay, let's go ahead and just get these people involved and call them witnesses and put them on a biggest case of all time. If you had this thing lock and key, how don't you have your victims or witnesses locked and key? How are you going to do that when it's only 3? But we're going to get into that. Let's drop the intro. Hi, I'm Carcino. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world. And I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. Now, welcome back. Now, the feds today has finally gave up the ghost. You see, they went before the judge and they were saying, well, Your Honor, we have a situation where we can't really locate one of our witnesses. Now, it was said by them that from the beginning, the witness did not want to give up her name in court and wanted to remain a Jane Doe all throughout. And they were promising her she would. Diddy was like, nope, I want this person to be named, not to remain a Jane Doe. You don't get to come to court, testify, and call yourself Jane Doe. No. She's going to have to be named. So she, once again, had reservations about testifying. She did not want to testify. She did not want to go before the judge. She didn't want any of these things going down. So they went and put her on the superseding indictment anyway, because they needed to come up with something to make it like a big kick. So now, here comes witness number 3. Now, witness number 3, if it's who we believe it is, it would have been huge for the prosecution, because she would have been able to paint the picture Because a lot of people believe it's Gina Hugh. One of the Asian women, I said these women would destroy Diddy if got the chance. I'm like, if it's one of his Asian women, look out. Now, Gina's the one in the movie. That could be his downfall. Diddy was aware that could be his downfall, and I think he locked him down. He took care of business. Or maybe she had a epiphany, but her lawyer was in contact with the prosecution and saying that, the witness don't live near New York City. So that person is not around where the case is and can't really be around for this and don't really want to testify. Now, we've known Gina to tell her side of the story, and Gina has painted a very graphic picture of Diddy and all of the things that he did, allegedly, to her. The pregnancy, the stepping on her and all this stuff. She gave very graphic details about what Diddy had did to her. And everybody just thought she was pretty kooky. Then the Cassie tape lands, and now, everything is everything. Now, Diddy dated her while he was still in a relationship with Cassie and doing whatever he was doing. Her and Cassie had words for each other, and she was never a fan of Cassie. So for her to be called a friend of Cassie was very odd to me. Now, getting to the other developments, they went to try to get the woman to come in, and they couldn't contact her. So Diddy said, well, we want this person named, and they put the paperwork in, filed to get the person named, and the judge had to make a decision on will she remain a Jane Doe. And right away, they come through with we went through the procedures. We went through everything we have here in our paperwork. And from what we can tell, the judge said, well, what's going on? Y'all got to the end of the week to find this woman. Right? They was give us to the end of the week, Your Honor, and we'll have this person. But they could not contact this person. The lawyer's not responding. And since the lawyer isn't responding, they're like, well, what are we really doing here? We are in the process of the court case where we're supposed to be picking the jury. And here we are trying to locate a witness. So that's when it got sketchy. Right? That's when it got sketchy. And because it got sketchy, that's when they said, well, I don't know what we're going to do here. Should we spend our money to go get her? Because, see, the prosecution could force her to testify because they subpoenaed her. They could put the subpoena out and say, hey, you've been subpoenaed to come to court, which is already done. So if they want to enforce the subpoena, all they got to do is send the marshal over there into her house and say, hey, you going to New York. But the judge made a decision today to say, like, basically, this person is out of here. because they told the judge said, well, y'all thing that filed out for the Jane Doe, it don't even matter. This person is done. It makes no sense to have this person on the case. And he said, because if you subpoena this person and bring this person in, and if she do testify at this point, she showed reluctance to testify. So if she does come in here, she might be a hostile witness. So do you want to bring a hostile witness into the trial who's already stated they're on the fence about testifying, and they're the witness? They're not on trial criminally. They don't have a criminal connection. This is not a plea deal. This person didn't commit a crime. It was their own choice if they want to go ahead and be a witness or not. It was up to them. So that person, victim, who's only named as victim number 3, has been eliminated. So it's only 2 victims on the list. One we know is Cassie, and one other person that might be the sex worker. Now, how huge is that? Very, because throughout the whole case, Gina was the one that could paint the picture of a cycle of he did this to me too. Now you're looking at someone who's basically included themselves in a I heard another person say that it was Aubrey Day. Yeah, you see, that's what they want. And y'all finna see it right here. This is what they want y'all to see. And this is what they want the court to see. Cassie wants to show her baby bump in New York, because she's there getting ready for the trial, and they got her there with her baby bump showing. Like, she's ready to pop. This is why Diddy's court case or his trial, they wanted them to say, hey, we should postpone this till she has birth, because this influenced the jury. So were they worried about Diddy bringing in this black lady? Y'all been playing dirty the whole time. You see how they doing? Juries feel sympathy for women who are pregnant. They know that. It's a dirty tactic. So when they lost the juror, they went and leaked this photo of Cassie outside holding her phone, sticking her big pregnant belly out to influence sympathy during the jury selecting pool week. I'm telling you, this is a dirty game. So if you had the evidence already, why are you playing this game? Right. If this was a slam dunk and you had this case already wrapped up in a bow, why do you got Cassie out here with this photo like she posed for the photo with her pregnant belly out? It's desperation because you lost a key victim who you listed as a victim. That's y'all manipulation plan. They're going to say, oh, no, TMZ just happened to catch that. No. Now, everybody knew she was pregnant, but with baby number 3. But this is what Cassie does. Manipulate. And because she's pregnant, sure, a pregnant woman in her state does not mean she's telling the truth or she's innocent in any way, shape, or form. Oh, yeah. Now, everybody's just caught up in celebrity names and, oh, this celebrity was named. This celebrity's going to be at the trial. This celebrity going to do this. This celebrity going to do that. Really? That where we at? Okay. Let's get to the celebrityness of it. Yeah, so when they got mad at Diddy for coming in with the sweater, he got the gray hair looking like Bill Cosby. And he hired the black lady who had been essayed before. According to her, that was strategic. So now Cassie comes busting in looking like that. Mm-hmm. Oh, they called some juror lying, saying he ain't heard nothing about the case or whatever. And they did, but everybody's seen that video. Come on, man. And for people to say, did you see the video where Cassie? No. And they've already combing your social media. They combing everything you do. That's like me going up there on the stand. Can you imagine me in jury selection? Sir, do you go by the name of Carcino too on YouTube? Who? Have you heard about this case? A little. Like I hear it in passing when I'm walking amongst the streets, or if I go to a restaurant, people might be talking about it, but I normally keep to myself. Are you familiar with this man right here? He looks a little like, was he in an R&B group? He looks a little bit like Aaron Hall or something, like from the group Guy. Is that Teddy Riley? Which one is it? They say, no, take a good look. That's Mr. Sean Combs. I don't think I know him. Is he an actor or? Mr. Combs, the R&B, the mogul, You've never heard of this man. Maybe in a past life. What did he do? I'd be like, what'd he do? He did what? No way. They'll be like, this is not you on these videos right here. Diddy is innocent. Is that you? I don't remember doing that. Oh, man. Are you kidding me? They would not let. That's like putting teaser tails on the damn case. You imagine teaser tails on the case? She'd be sitting there. No, Your Honor, I do not know that's Diddy. I swear. But I will say there's a high probability that he probably did it. Oh, I'm dismissed? Damn. You're going to jail, Diddy. You're going down. And when Tony Busby gets his hands on you, oh, it is all over. It'd be like, this is a federal court. If he's found guilty here, he'd be going to jail for life, possibility of life. So I don't think he's worried about what Tony Busby can do to him. This is a criminal case right now that you. Oh yeah, I know, but what Tony Busby could do would totally finish him. Well, he would be finished, and this is a criminal case now, so he would be finished. You know, like it'll be that situation. It's because people never understood or took the time to learn or listen. Now, listen to this, because everybody care about the names. That was
degrees of separation between artists and actors and icons and movers and shakers. Nobody is more entwined with the cultural fabric of the past 30 years than Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, Puffy, P. Diddy, whatever you call him. His fingerprints are all over music and television and fashion and fragrances, even the liquor that we've been drinking for decades. And even if you don't know Diddy from Puff Daddy, no judgment, boo. He's had many acts. But he's more than likely made an impression on everybody watching right now. I don't care what your age is. Maybe you'll never forget when he dated J-Lo. That was a big thing, quarter century ago. Trust me. Before Ben Jen, it was Diddy Jen. But then it was Puff Jen, actually. He launched the Vote or Die in 2004. Became a really big deal there for a lot of people. He also threw those star-studded white parties in the Hamptons where everybody who was anybody went. Maybe you saw these pictures. Maybe you were there. Maybe you drank that Ciroc vodka that he was shilling forever, right? Maybe you wore a pair of his jeans. Sean John was a heck of a label. And maybe Bad Boy Entertainment opened your eyes and ears to a world that you never knew existed. Now, of course, Sean Combs' legacy, just like his liberty, his fortune, and his future, that all hangs in the balance of a sex crimes trial underway right now in New York federal court. But those connections and Diddy's impact not only are not fading away, they are under the spotlight like never before, in the last place you might expect. Jury selection. Like, it's never exciting, jury selection. Oh, it's boring. You wait till the panel's picked and then the good stuff starts. No, not in this case. Jury selection's been amazing. The candidates are being asked about their own connections to or impressions of an array of celebrities, and with no explanation why, at least not yet. The parlor games have begun, my friends. Everybody is trying to connect the dots between the shiny, famous names and the beleaguered rap star Diddy.
Now, since this is the A list of names that they put out there, let's go through it. I'll connect the dots for you. Aubrey O'Day, right? Showstoppers from that group that he put together. She's been on his side, by his side, and she came out complaining about Diddy, saying Diddy did all these things, but she never went and sued Diddy at all. Aubrey O'Day has not filed a civil lawsuit or a criminal lawsuit. People saying, oh, well, maybe she testified against him, or maybe he cut a deal, he bought her off. You see, it's the same thing. They saying she was victim number 3, and that was the case. And now they got this witness that don't want to testify and never wanted to testify. Now they saying she's an ex-girlfriend of Diddy's or ex-associate, and everybody, and I'm telling you who I believe it is Gina Hugh, the Asian, one of his Asian girls. She was the one who had enough evidence publicly that we've already known. She was uncooperative really from the gate, but they wanted to add more people to this case. And since she didn't have a civil suit against Diddy, so they figured, well, this would be good. We adding more people. We can put a superseding indictment in here to win this case. So you can't ignore one of the people that was mentioned in this case and just ignore them like they don't exist. Well, the judge has already decided that if she was to arrive there, she would be considered a hostile witness because she never wanted to testify, and the defense would eat that apart. Now, her not showing up really makes the defense go, you got people that don't want to show up in your witnesses. What other mistakes have you made in this case? What all did you force or promise somebody to be here? Now you want the jury to look at Diddy as a monster based on the tape. And you think that tape is strong enough to win. But if it was, you wouldn't have edited anything. Mm-hmm. Now we finna get to the get to. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you gotta understand, it's a bigger picture than that. But now you got me here, and I'm gonna explain all of this to you. Oh, absolutely. First of all, let's take myself out of the equation. They have the witness to the tape. The tape don't mean diddly squat without the evidence to back it up. Mm-hmm. If that was it, then they wouldn't need to add no other witnesses. Then they could just say, "Well, we got the person on tape here, so that's the closed shut case." But see, one thing is not leading to what they're trying to use the tape to assume that she was trying to escape a freak off, which clearly wasn't the case. But they want to lie and make it seem as if that was the case, and they got evidence to prove that. Well, we shall see. Now, let's take a good look at this. Don't forget to hit the like button on the video, subscribe to the page if you're new. Definitely, and I do mean definitely, you could cash out the channel, Carcino. Now, Kanye West, his connection to Diddy. He's named in this lawsuit saying Diddy taught him everything he knows about getting a woman. He know Kid Cudi. He introduced Kid Cudi to Diddy, the whole nine. Remember on the Patreon, I told you about Kanye and Kid Cudi, right? And when they went wrong. Now, Cassie, we all know how Cassie's connected to this. Michelle Williams used to work with Diddy at Bad Boy, where Sean John and everything else. And she's very familiar with a lot of people here, and she's not a big fan of Cassie. Dawn Richards, you know how she was disgruntled, and she's friends with Audrey O'Day. They was in the group together, and that's that. Now they trying to say Justin Combs and Christian Combs was named because people are saying, oh, they brought some girls in for their father and all that stuff. Mike Myers said Diddy's name in a Austin Powers movie. That's it. Kid Cudi with the fire in the car, you already know that. Michael B. Jordan, friends of Diddy, but also dated Cassie. Many of y'all didn't know that. He dated Cassie. So now it's like, whoa, did you date Cassie? Or was you a client? Laura London. She's Cassie's friend. But she also know that Diddy was in her corner when Nipsey died. He was one of her biggest supporters. Dallas Austin. Now, Dallas is just shady, period, anyway. But he's involved in any scandal, anything going on. Dallas Austin name is going to be thrown in all of it. Now, he the only one I can't even, it's all over the place. Dallas could have slept with Cassie, Michelle Williams, Lauren London, Dawn Richards, Aubrey O'Day. Wouldn't surprise if he slept with Justin or Christian Combs. And Diddy, and Kanye, or Mike Myers, and Kid Cudi. It's Dallas Austin. Now, these so-called tapes that exist, right? What they have done is misdirection. Using these Tony Busby civil cases is dirtying the whole jury pool, because everybody out there has been hearing about, oh, we got Diddy was found with celebrities on tape. Here's this underage girl that was brought in. Here's this this whole scene here where Diddy did this. He forced us to drink this. He did all of this stuff was thrown out in the social media. All of it. Mm-hmm. 100%. So when you look at it as a well, when you just look at it from a respectable manner, let's say, we look at things from a respectable manner, a respectable element. They did that to dirty the gene pool. So the more he threw out, they knew they didn't have anything like that in the actual case. Because if all of that stuff was Diddy, they had the tapes, don't you? That's why I kept telling people, don't you think the doggone feds, the criminal case, they would have took that evidence and said, well, we're going to add that to the criminal charge? If they got underage girls, that would help benefit this whole case. If they had that tape would have been used. They got all these celebrities on tape doing all these things. Don't you think that the criminal case would supersede all that and they would pick that up and use that to boost their argument? None of the Tony Busby lawsuits, not one, has been added to the criminal case. What does that tell you? If that don't raise your antennas to say, that is kind of crazy. 120 cases and not one of them is added to the criminal case, that don't kind of make no sense. They still ain't explained how is it a RICO case and there's still no co-conspirators. What happened to the co-conspirators? Well, these co-conspirators is gonna get named in trial. They gonna be, well, you got to name the co-conspirators. You have to have a superseding indictment that include co-conspirators. They did 2 superseding indictments. Still no co-conspirators. So how is this a RICO case again when one guy is on trial? This is where people's intelligence is being challenged. All of what you believe, all of your intelligence is being challenged right now. They're challenging you. Because if they're doing this to Diddy and the way in the form that they're doing it, imagine what they would do to somebody who don't have the resources that Diddy has. So if they can throw a one individual on a RICO case, imagine what they could do to you. Imagine what's the charge going to be. Well, it's an iffy situation. Eddie Griffith said that if they want a black man with wealth in his country, will live clean. Dude, you could live clean and it don't even matter. If you live clean, it don't even matter. Who lived cleaner than Bill Cosby? Think about it. Who lived cleaner than Bill Cosby? This is the Cosby Show. This man wasn't doing anything to anybody for 40 years. They went back to the 1960s and 70s to try to charge him with Spanish fly. Are you kidding me? That man got taken down because he tried to buy NBC twice. The first time he tried to buy NBC, they took the life of his son. The second time around, they almost tried to take his life. They took his livelihood. But Cosby got so much money, he just said, you know what, I'm out. Because black folks who he was doing this for turned on him, used him as a joke upon calling him Bill Cosby. And the guy, Hannibal Buress, the upcoming comedian that told the Cosby joke that they tried to use, because they always want to use a blackface to try to take down black men. And say, hey, it ain't us. And why they hide in the shadows. And then they put Hannibal Buress in a couple of movies and he just wasn't funny. So they was like, man, they gave him a comedy special after that and he just wasn't funny. Now you don't hear nothing about Hannibal Buress no more. You see? That's how it works. Exactly. Plus, Spanish fly side effects or whatever, it don't knock you out. That was not that wasn't the results of the fly. The fly wasn't to knock you out. It put you in a mood. That was the kicker. And then you looked at the women that they used, and the reason why they had to let Cosby out of jail because they broke every rule in that court trial the second time around, wasted everybody's money in Philly, put all these women on the stand to testify for impact statements and stuff, knowing that was illegal. They shouldn't even been there. The guy was running for an election who was, I'm going to take down Bill Cosby. It's like, who was thinking about Bill Cosby? Bill Cosby's like 80 years old. Now Cosby's listed as a monster. So Bill just stay in his house. He don't even come outside no more. He don't even want to be bothered. And I don't blame him. He's like, look, I can't even see no more. Bill can't even see. Everything is blurry now. He's legally blind. This man want to sit there, chill, relax, and he just finna eat his food, and that's that. You know how old James Amos was? People knew about Cosby. Yeah, they knew till Bill Cosby got down. I knew Bill Cosby got down. Like I knew he wasn't Heathcliff Huxtable. I knew that. I'll tell you when I found out. Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson fight. In like Mississippi. You know, that fight didn't happen in no real fight area. That was in like Mississippi, Memphis, around that area. Bill Cosby was there in the VIP suite. had some women with him. What's good, KB? Oh, you always on time. Bill Cosby had women with him at the Mike Tyson fight. People didn't know he was there. Cosby was upstairs in his suite, didn't come out, watched the fight from up top in his suite with these damn chicks that he had up in there. Only selective people saw Bill Cosby at the Mike Tyson Lennox Lewis fight. He said Memphis. Right. It was in Memphis. Tyson didn't have a license in Las Vegas because they lost so much money on Tyson because of the odds. So they just kicked him out. But let me get KB caught up. So here's what happened, KB. That victim number 3, the prosecution came in and they knew that this woman was fighting them from the jump. Now, it's the person who I said all along when I was making the videos. Man, I said Diddy's Asian exes could be his downfall. The one in the middle there, her name is Gina. Now, Diddy got 3 Asians that he messed with. One is 50 Cent baby mama, Daphne Joy. Then the other one that got his baby right here, the one in the front. And then this one right here on the side is Gina Hugh. She the one that she said Diddy stepped on her, all kind of stuff. She was pregnant, lost the baby, all this stuff. So we assume victim number 3 is her because they already said she was an ex-girlfriend of Diddy. She didn't live in New York, and that would be the close. She's not close to New York. She's the obvious choice. So anyway, she couldn't. So she from the get-go did not want to testify. She was saying how she didn't want to testify. The victim number 3. The prosecution added her to the superseding indictment anyway, telling her, "Oh no, you got to testify. It's not going to be thing. You could just do it as Jane Doe." They made her these promises. Diddy filed his paperwork saying, she got to be named. So they wanted victim number 3 to be named in this trial. So Diddy and his team is like, "Hey, this victim number 3 thing, we need the judge to get cooking on that. We need this thing approved. The defense need this, to be so we can prepare our defense. So we can't defend ourselves we don't know who the hell it is." So once again, the prosecution was trying to get the person to testify. All this time behind the scenes, this person is saying, "I don't want to testify." Now they talking about, y'all said I was going to be Jane Doe. Now they talking about, I got to come in. I ain't want to do this no way. Now they can't even contact her. Her lawyer's not talking to them, not answering their calls. She's not answering their calls. So they can't even locate her. So they went before the judge and they was like, well, we still trying to locate her. We haven't had no success. So they was like, "Hey, what's going on here?" They was like, "Give us to the end of the week." And the judge is basically saying, "Hey, look, this thing is done." So he told Diddy now, who put in it's a moot point, at this point, to even do that. To try to get the identity of the person. It don't even matter. They're not, this is eliminated. This is over. Witness number 3 can't come in here because now, let's say because it's a subpoena, you could subpoena them because they've been subpoenaed to come to court to testify. It's a fair case. So you got to come in, and if you don't respect it, they can make you come testify. But if you do that now you got to remember, well, it's not that he might get off. It's just that witness is out of there. So that person, it really weakens the defensive case a lot because the judge is saying, okay, you bring this person in, this person now is going to be a possible hostile witness. if you bring this person in to testify. Now, remember, they don't have nothing on this person. This person is just somebody who was a victim. So it's not like they saying, well, if you don't testify, you going to jail. We got you with drugs. We got you on this. This person is not a criminal. They ain't arrest this person. So they don't have nothing on this person besides that they were trying to get this person to testify, and they were so thirsty, they went and put that person in as victim number 2. Now, they already said in the 3 victims that was there, which 1 is Cassie, 2 was a sex worker, and 3 was a friend of Cassie's. Now, I don't remember Gina ever being a friend of Cassie, because she was dating Diddy at the same time. Now, what people didn't know is that Michael B. Jordan used to date Cassie. So his name just got name dropped. They always name drop people for references. But Michelle Williams from Destiny Child was mentioned. Everybody freaked out. She was in a freak out with Diddy. Well, she worked with Diddy. Like, she worked with like Sean John, but she was not fond of Cassie. So if they're name dropping her, now if the defense of Diddy people bring in witnesses to testify, they'll probably want to bring her in. Now, Laura London is connected with Cassie through their friendship through Diddy. And Diddy was there for her when, Nip died. But they didn't roped in the Christian, the Combs boys, all of them. Like, it's really gotten crazy out here in these streets. Oh no. But see, you gotta understand something. They playing a dirty game now because they know they had to drop that key witness. So now that they dropped the key witness, everything then changed. They know that's a bad look on them. And see, they looked at Diddy wanting to delay the trial, like he was scared of the trial and all of this. No. So they know that news is going to be everywhere, that they had to drop that witness off the case. So they come out with this leaked photo of Cassie, her showing her pregnant baby. This is why Diddy wanted to delay the trial, because they wanted her to have that baby. Now the jury see her with the pregnant baby. Who gonna go against a pregnant woman? See, the prosecution is playing dirty. All of a sudden today, TMC gonna get a picture of Cassie in New York showing her baby bump. That's a dirty move by the prosecution to manipulate the jury pool. Now, who on the jury pool selection ain't gonna see that Cassie's pregnant right now with the baby? In any other case, the judge would delay it because they didn't want anybody to feel sympathy for the pregnant lady when her pregnancy is not a part of the case. But they losing ground because they lost victim number 3. So here they come with another dirty tactic. Let's drop the sympathy play. That's why Diddy wanted to postpone the trial and his team. They wanted her to go ahead and have that baby. Right. They wanted her to go and have that baby. Chill. That's a good thing you need to do. What did he do to the woman in the hotel? You asked me, did I see what he did in the hotel to this woman? He's not being charged for that. That is a domestic case. That's a misdemeanor felony for a domestic case. That was light, to be honest. It cost him more than 30 mil because now they're turning the tape into a freak off tape, which they're using that to try to build the case, and they're using the acts of what happened on the tape. It's two different things. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Now you're getting the picture.
And the charges. Just today, the name Robert Downey Jr. came up in court. When a prospective juror said that he knew a Robert Downey in high school, it was kind of funny. But Robert Downey, the actor, and Diddy apparently do know each other and have been seen together in public. But Robert Downey Jr. reportedly never attended Diddy's parties. So if he does figure into this trial somehow, it's going to be a lot of news to a lot of us. Mike Myers, another favorite Canadian.
Yeah,
Favorite comedian. He is on the jury question list as well. And that too is a tongue-wagging mystery. Unless it's about the quick jab at Diddy that he took in the Austin Powers movie. I don't know. Doesn't seem likely. Rolling Stone magazine reports that actor Michael B. Jordan made the list because Diddy once threatened him for dating Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Same goes for the rapper Kid Cudi. USA Today says that Cassie's lawsuit claimed that Diddy threatened to blow up Kid Cudi's car. Music producer Dallas Austin may have made the list for his ties to the late Kim Porter, who was mom to 4 of Diddy's kiddies. And singer Dawn Richard from the girl group Danity Kane, she is likely on the famous people list because she's one of Diddy's many accusers. Not in his criminal case, but she sued him civilly last year, claiming that she saw him abuse Cassie, his girlfriend, and that she herself was sexually assaulted, deprived of food, and cheated out of money that she was owed. Guess what? You're going to hear from her attorney in just a hot minute. But first, I want to bring in News Nation correspondent Caitlin Becker, who's outside the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan. Caitlin's been covering this case gavel to gavel. Okay, first of all, let's just start with the drip, drip, drip of all the names, because the internet is really on fire. What happened today?
You know, Ashley, a lot of the same things. You get asked these same exact questions about these celebrities with no real context as to why. And you really hit the nail on the head a minute ago when you said jury selection's kind of boring, but not in the Diddy case. Most prospective jurors who come into jury selection have never heard of the defendant, let alone have an opinion of them. But what we heard today was prospective jurors who were excluded because they flat out said they don't like Diddy going into it. They don't have a favorable opinion. One guy said he believed Diddy has enough money to buy his way out of jail. So those jurors immediately excluded. There was also some laughs in the courtroom today from the attorneys and the judge when one prospective juror said that he couldn't guarantee that he wouldn't be able to smoke marijuana for all 8 to 10 weeks of the trial. So that person was excluded. But by the end of the day, they've added 10 more people to that pool of 45 that they're trying to get, because they're not impaneling the jury, like I said, typically as how we think of it. They're going to have a pool of 45 people who are acceptable prospective jurors. They expect that to be done tomorrow. And from that pool of 45, that is where they're going to choose their 12 jurors and their 6 alternates, Ash.
You realize that that marijuana guy has just set the bar for every other person out there who wants to get a reason to be like punted, but I can. Okay, the other thing I didn't quite understand.
Now, right then and there, right? You heard what the whole process was. Right? You heard the process. Mm-hmm. I mean, do you know if these celebrities really stop beautifying themselves? Do you know what they actually would look like? Really? That's what I'm saying. If you really think about it, what would these celebrities actually look like? What would they actually do? What would they actually be like? Mm-hmm. They would age. Right. They all look like dinosaurs. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Michael B. Jordan used to date Cassie, like I told you. Now, Diddy had invited him to his birthday party after the Creed situation. And the Creed movie came out and everything. Remember, he couldn't get into the Diddy party? But see, that's the dirty game they're gonna play. Pregnant Cassie is out here in New York now. They're gonna put it on TMZ. Who's not gonna see her pregnant? And then she go in there with her big belly, getting up, going over there to sit on the stand. What jury ain't gonna feel sympathy for her? It's like, look at him, man. He hitting on a pregnant Cassie. That tape's 7 years old. Dana White then punched his doggone wife, slapped her. The mom wrote a book about how they've been fighting for years before that even came out. They fought on their wedding night. But in the wedding photo, like the Dana White got a scar on his damn head. They was constantly fighting throughout the entire marriage. Dana White wasn't even living with his wife. Don't even live with her now. He had a house that he stayed at. There was nothing but hookers and MMA ring card girls and everybody in there. Dana White was constantly putting hands on women. They know about it. And yet, ain't nobody boycott the UFC, tell him he needs to be fired, step down, nothing. Matter of fact, he came out and told people, well, what do you want me to do? Want me to step aside? How does that help my company? They're not gonna survive without me. Nah, they don't need you. Nobody's buying a ticket for Dana White. Man, if Dana gonna be there tonight, oh man. All right, Dana's gonna be here. Nobody coming there to see no damn Dana White. That's why he designed the show. Yeah, they scared. Because Dana White has always aligned himself with people that allow him to do whatever he needs to do. Yeah, Dana White gonna align himself with powerful white men that always got more money than him. He went to that, his mom put him in that school. She put him in that rich school. He didn't want to go there. Dana White is broke from the hood. His mom worked 2 jobs to put him in that school, and where he got best friends with the Furtadas, who paid for Dana White to do everything. They was his best friend. Dana's really good to squirreling up to rich people, rich and powerful people. When he first got to Vegas, he used to just be a valet, carrying Floyd's bags to the car, anything he could do to get some money. Floyd would tip him $100. That's who Dana White was. Let me get your bag, sir. Anything else you need? And Floyd would be like, hey, get my bags. That was Dana White. The man who invented or who bought into power slap competition. That's his new thing. Power slap. That's gonna be the new big thing. Now he's tied himself with the Sheik, kissed up to the Sheik, and talked the Sheik into starting a boxing league, like a UFC for boxing. And because the Sheik loves to be praised, Dana White's gonna fail at that too. And nobody is even talking about it. Exactly. We cancel each other, but white folks don't. White folks get us to do it. That's the thing. That's the kicker. White folks get us to react. Now, I'm not saying Diddy, what he did in the video, I accept and all that. We never accept no man beating on a woman or a woman beating on a man. But they try to make y'all believe that was the most vicious beatdown in the history of, that was just, oh my God, my eyes cannot look at that again. After the 37th time, I said, oh my God, I can't. If you go back and watch that tape again, he never lands really any blows on her at all. He pulls her by a jacket down on the ground. He throws a kick. He missed the damn kick he threw. He stepped on her damn thigh. And then he grabs her jacket and pulls her back to the room. She stops. She gets up. She walks off. He comes and he storms at her and pushes her into the wall. She walks off. He sits there in a chair. He grabs a vase. He throws the vase against the wall as she storms out. 2 days later, they at a movie premiere. 2 days after that attack, they're together, hand in hand, because she's at the movie premiere of the movie that he put her in with Terrence J. We just saw worse less than a month ago, where the YouTuber live streamed himself hitting his girlfriend. Now he's in jail, of course. He finna do some serious time. His ex said he did that to her and put that girl in the hospital. If it wasn't for that other girl there, she'd probably be gone. And the way he was hitting her like a grown man for no reason. Yeah, I know you're a Brooklyn Knicks fan, so you definitely got some mental hearing issues. Of course, Diddy is wrong for what he did in that hallway. We never said what he did was correct, but it wasn't as vicious as y'all trying to make it out to be, as the media tries to make you out to be, like it was a vicious beatdown. It's like, it was not. She wouldn't be able to go down to no event, 2 days later. Now, what the prosecution is using that tape for, because they can't even, Diddy is not on trial for putting his hands on Cassie. This is what you guys are getting the lines blurred by the tape, and that's what they want. Man, Diddy guilty, man. He said he didn't do that, and look, he did it. He talking about the trafficking and all of that. That's what he was talking about. Now, everybody know Diddy put hands on you. Diddy let them hands fly at anybody. The guy, Diddy had hand problems. Of course, the video is going to haunt him because everybody see that. They go, oh my God, that's vicious. Especially in Hollywood. You can't do that. They ain't going to want him there. Don't invite him at my party. No. Diddy just want to be back in his circle. But see, it's not just Diddy now. All the celebrities are moving different. All of them. They moving different. Mm-hmm. No, man, they all moving different. There's been nothing like the local parties they would throw to be wild with girls. They are. If they don't know you like that, you are not even invited, bro. I'm dead serious. If they don't know you, you're not getting invited to the parties. Before, it'd be like you could bring somebody, you ain't even got to call them. Whoever you came with, that was just cool. Now they got to vet everybody. Going to Floyd Mayweather's, like when we was with Floyd and used to go out, DJ Oski and everybody else. Look, when we were doing our thing and moving and shaking the way we were, and Floyd would hire Oski to DJ his mom's parties and everything, right? As soon as I was out there, every time we went there to Floyd Mayweather's mother's house, you can't get into that place. First of all, your name's gonna be at the gate, right? Everybody's car license plate is taken. And if they don't have your name, I don't care who you brought with you. If their name ain't there, they ain't going in. And that's just that. Everybody's name is going to be accounted for. There's no pictures in the household unless they tell you to. Only time you could take a picture is you go by the wall where like it's no pictures and nothing. It's just a blank white wall that they take their photos at. Other than that, you're not going to be doing anything else up in there. Diddy and Jay-Z don't have a problem with each other. But they got to appear to have a problem with each other because of what the situation is. Jay-Z can't be attached to Diddy right now. So, because of his businesses. I don't know what that guy's doing. I tuned him off. When he gets off his law and crime or what, I don't know. Whatever he's doing, that guy can do what he want to do over there. The way he's viewing this is from a slant. It's a money grab. Let him go ahead and do his thing. Let's just say we have a difference in opinions when it comes to this Diddy case. Yeah, and he can have his opinion. I just don't have to listen to it. So after that, when you blatantly ignore facts to go push an agenda, I just got a problem with that, a huge problem with that. And especially with the civil cases. And that's what really drew the wedge was these Tony Busby civil cases. And I'm like, dude, are you serious right now? Are you serious? It's like you trying to give credibility to uncredible people and then ignore the facts of these lawsuits. It was crazy. I just didn't understand it. Then when the Jay-Z was involved, now you conflicted. Now it's like, okay, which way we go? Always go on the side of truth. But now you see when Jay dropped the whole thing, they dropped the whole thing. They still trying to say, well, Jay-Z, they pushed that lady to drop the lawsuit. They intimidated her to do it. They threatened her. It's nothing there, bro. It's nothing there the whole time. It was a shakedown. And rather than admit Busby messed up, they decided to try to still say Jay-Z still could be guilty. Because, I mean, knowing that none of that evidence of that woman, whatever that woman said, none of it matched up. Knowing she got out of a crazy house. She just went to trial 2 days later. How, if you going to vet somebody, if you're Tony Busby's office, you don't know this about this person, and you're about to go after an A-list celebrity, and you didn't know that she was in court just less than 2 months prior, was in a mental facility, and you did your job vetting? It's like, come on. It's bad, you know? And to ignore that, to use that to just tear the black man down, I can't be a part of that. It's not that I'm the biggest Diddy fan in the world. If you got evidence and it makes sense and you got evidence on the trial, then by all means, we go by that evidence. But when something don't smell right and something ain't right and it ain't adding up, and I'm like, hey, that's foul. This person over here, they don't seem right. Nobody was really dealing with Tony like that, you know, until this Deshaun Watson case. Then that's when he got popular. But he's what they call him, the 1-800 lawyer. But he's low rent. You know, AVA is backing his office. So AVA is the big company, the major firm that's picked up his small office that he got, that allows him this leeway. Now, I'm not saying he's a good lawyer or a bad lawyer. I'm just saying his practices and what we've been seeing, because nobody really knew of him. So some of his practices and his cases, since they've been looking into Tony Busby, a lot of it is fishy. In the Deshaun Watson settlements, you know, he find people in compromising situations so that he could lean on them to get them to settle, because going out to trial, and Deshaun Watson just had to basically settle with all these women individually, and to get all that cleared because of his case that he had criminally, he needed that out of the way. And Busby's been on this whole, let me find another black guy to do this to. So you got Deshaun Watson, Diddy, Jay-Z, and now Shannon Sharpe. So it looks like he targets black men with money, like celebrities. And it's always this play of SA. Oh, Tyrone Blackburn. Yeah, he's trying to make a name for himself as well. Now, I didn't mind him going after academics, but everybody else seems a little weird. Now, Little Rod cases has been getting destroyed ever since it was made. Now, Little Rod case is different. Now, Little Rod had all the exotic stuff in his case, right? There's secret cameras everywhere. There's all of this stuff, right? So they knocked almost everything out of his lawsuit, except for like 3 things, right? All of these claims is knocked out. Lie. The Cuba Gooden Jr. thing is out of there. All this stuff is lies. And I told people, I was like, this thing is 100% a lie. He's mad he didn't get any money. And when they tried to present stuff as evidence, you knew it was a lie. These alleged underage girls, everybody there was overage. They've already proven that. So that was a lie. He's amended this lawsuit, I don't know how many times. That guy should never be a go-to for anything. Tell me about it.
Especially on the, the day after the Met Gala, the toast of the town and costumery. Diddy showed up in the same clothes. He's wearing the same outfit. Do we expect that this is a ploy? Is this a mistake that lawyers forgot to bring him a fresh change? What was going on there?
Same outfit really surprised me too. I expected maybe a version of that outfit, but not the same exact one. It is a little dressed down for court. So I don't know if maybe we're going to see a suited Diddy when it comes time for the trial to actually begin come Monday. But there aren't any cameras in the courtroom. There's no cameras. There's no still cameras. There's no photography. There's no video cameras. And he doesn't walk in and out. So we don't really see him. So maybe that had something to do with it. He's not kind of performing for anyone in there. But is he, though? His cousin was in there again, the one that walks in wearing the Free Puffy shirt. And they seem to kind of nod and non-verbally communicate with each other in court today, Ash, when he was going in and out. And every time he could turn around to the gallery, they seemed like they had some sort of understanding and some signals. But tomorrow is going to be really interesting. Tomorrow is when they're going to use those preemptory challenges where both sides get to say no, 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 no to the jurors they don't want, and they've saved all of them for tomorrow.
And they don't have to say why. That's the magic of peremptories. You just get to wave your wand, and it doesn't matter what your reason, except it can't be if they're in a protected class. And there are ways to find that out. Caitlin, good job. Thank you for that. Really appreciate it.
Sash.
Now, that's why they saved it. They know. Well, it's what they call presumptive presumptive reasons for all of this. It's so out of control. Well, it's like a preemptive strike. You want to make sure you got everything right. You want to make sure you cross your T's, dot your I's, the whole thing. Thank you, Eric. Have I met Michael B. Jordan? I met when he was a kid. I didn't even see him, I don't think, when they made the Hardball movie. I was on the movie set when they made Hardball. And Keanu Reeves wasn't there that day, or he wasn't there yet. And I saw Brian Robbins because they filmed it in Cabrini Green Projects. And that's when I talked to Brian Robbins, and he was telling me what was going on. But as an adult, no, I've never seen him, met him. But I've seen all his work, like from Chronicle all the way up. No, it's just different ploys. When you see people take different directions, they start to move in that I'm the victim situation. Now, I never saw Diddy threaten him. You see, that was the thing. I've never seen Diddy say, "I'm threatening you." No, I've never saw that for Michael B. Jordan. Now, that's the thing. Thank you, Blondale Sykes, for the Cash App. I see you. Mm-hmm. He's not named after Michael Jordan. Another people's of Air Jordan, rather. It's not named after him. His father is Michael A. Jordan. Okay, that's his father, Michael A. Jordan. And he's already said if he has a son, he's not naming him Michael C. Jordan. That's out. No, Michael B. Jordan was headed to the party. I was just watching Red Tails and I was laughing. I mean, literally just watching it. And we gonna fight. We fight. Just to see Terrence Howard drop that line. We gonna fight. Because that's what we do. We fight. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Now, remember, this is when Michael B. Jordan went to Diddy party. He couldn't get in.
Superstar Michael B.
He was invited. We got
let him inside. Why wouldn't they let you in?
What? They have capacity, you feel me?
So they had capacity, so he couldn't get in there. And so the fire marshal came there, fire inspector came and told him, You couldn't get in there. And Diddy invited him, and Diddy wanted the guy to go get him to come back. And they told him, no way. Diddy's right there. Like, go get him. Diddy was like, they took off. He sent them like, man, they took off. Diddy sent them out there to go get him. Like, go get him. Tell him to come back in here. Yep. So the dude's talking to him like, man, they had capacity. And so Michael B. Jordan's like, all right, well, I'm just going home. There's no drama in LA. He's at capacity. And then Diddy told him, you better go get him. That's the star of Creed. You go get that young brother. You bring him in here. Go get him. Look at his sister got to take off running. He running across the street. You better go get him. You better go get Michael B. Jordan right now. He went taking off to get him. He come back, man, he gone. He pulled off already. Yeah. So he hooked up, Michael B. Jordan ended up hooking up with Cassie because he was cool with Diddy and everything. So Cassie ended up hooking up with Michael B. Jordan. Look, this is what I'm trying to tell you. When you find out what happens in this trial, your mind gonna be blown when it comes to Cassie. She want to get on that stand. She finna know what she playing with, because you gonna hear what how big of a hoe she is, and how much of a freak she is. That she was involved in everything that took place. She had no disapprovements of anything. She was all in. Well, you want people to realize one thing, these situations can go a litany of different ways. You just want it all to be correct. And you want it all to line up. That's it. That's all. Ain't no more to it. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. So anyway, I'm out. Y'all be blessed. Shouts out to Kwame Brown Bus Life and Kwame Brown Bus Life 2.0. Welcome to HDII TV Sports Talk with Jose Rodriguez. Jose came through for a second and said what he had to say before it got crazy after the Knicks game. Definitely check his page out. My Patreon, which is on fire. We got some more new information coming out for you. That's going to be Patreon only. and you're going to like that. And we are out.